Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. Today I have a great project for you. But first, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you are alerted every time I drop a new video. On to the project. This video is part of a monthly card making hop hosted by Valley Oak Paper. Winter Holidays is the theme for December 2025. Find more inspiration in the videos linked below. So today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful star 3D pop-out card. It does fold flat that you could put it into an envelope. It may require extra postage. I haven't taken it to the post office yet to see, but it does fit into a 5x7 envelope. And then they can display it on their mantle. Isn't it beautiful? I plan to use the Peaceful Garden 12x12 designer series paper by Stampin' Up. You can see it's got a kind of a blue theme. This is the back side of these. And then the Peace on Earth photopolymer stamp set and the matching dies. Okay, we need to cut 6 pieces of paper that are 5.5 by 7. So I'm going to cut this 7. And 5.5. And then 5.5. So I'm using 12x12 paper. So I need 3 sheets of 12x12. Now get out your scoreboard, or however you are going to score these. And along the 5.5-inch side, we are going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. So do that for all 6 pieces. Now I am using 2-tone cardstock, and I want the darker side to be on the outside. Okay, so I need to keep that in mind as I'm folding these. So you want to take one and basically we're going to fold along all of the score lines. And they're all going to be mountain folds. Okay. And so I'm going to fold this in, and this is the part that I'm going to put my adhesive on. So this is the side that I want to show on the outside. This is on the inside. You can see it's the lighter color. And what I'm going to do is basically put adhesive on this part and fold it. Okay. Now you can use green glue, Tombow green glue. I am not great with green glue, so I'm going to use score tape. And this is a 1/2 inch, so I hope I can get it on there pretty well. You want to use something fairly strong. Let's see if I can get this right on there. Let's take this off. I'm going to fold it back. You want the adhesive part up, and then you see how there's 4 sections? You want to just directly fold in the center and bring this piece down. Right like that. Okay? You see? So it's going to make sort of a tube. I'll do that with all of the pieces. Okay, now I have all 6 of my pieces, my tubes put together. Now let's assemble them into a star. So let's take 2 of these, and you'll see here is where the seam is on this one, and then the seam is here on this one. So what I'm going to do is adhere these 2 together. So I'm going to put, again, I'm going to use score tape, but you can use green glue or whatever you feel comfortable with. I am not a glue person. Burnish this down a little bit. Make sure you're just putting it on one of the sections, right? Just on one side of the tube. Let's burnish this down a little bit. Okay. Okay, now remember, this was the seam, and then this is a seam. So you want the seam to be in the middle. So I'm going to adhere this one to here, and this one to here. See, like this. Burnish it a little bit. Okay, so now hopefully you could start to see the design taking shape. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. And if you want to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, you can put a little bit of green glue onto your score tape so you can move it a little bit. Because you see how there's like a tiny little edge there? I might have moved it if I could, but I'm not going to risk it. Okay, here's the seam, and it's going to go right on here. Okay, so I am going to put adhesive right here. Burnish that down. Burnish this down so it's nice and stuck on the paper. Now all we are going to need to do is adhere these 2 pieces together. Okay. So make sure you put adhesive on the right spots. Okay. So right here. Add a little bit of the glue. Just flip that over. There we go. Okay, let's let that dry for a minute. Okay, I worked at it a little bit to get the shape more like what I want. And now we are going to decorate the sides. You need 12 pieces for a mat that are 1 inch by 6 3/4. I am going to use white. White for the mat to kind of lighten up this dark color. So 6 3/4. And then one inch. So we need 12 of these. Okay, I've got 12 of these pieces. And then I think I'm going to use this for the pattern paper. And I need 6 1/2. Let me make sure I'm cutting it the right direction. I'm going to be cutting 6 1/2 and then cutting them this way. Yeah, so 6 1/2. And then the 3/4 inch pieces this way. And I'm going to cut on this side of the paper this time. 1. So you need 12 of these. Okay, so I have 12 pieces of these. Well, I was going to use this side with the stars, but I think I'm really kind of loving this side. So I think I'm going to use this one, this side. I think it's got a little bit of a softer feel if I use the flowers. If I used the star side, it would be a little more masculine, so I think it depends on. This is a winter themed card, so I think either would be appropriate. Okay, now these are going to go on to each of these sides. Okay, now I'm stopping before the last 2 here because I want to show you something. Now I can choose, and I already put the decorative pieces on. Okay, if you want a space to write something on, like your name or sign it, you can just use a white, so you can stamp something here, like this. Right? You can put the white on here, and then you can sign it or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and put these on all the way around. And then I will sign it some other way. Maybe I'll leave one. Let's do one. One where I can sign. Just to show you. You don't have to. We'll see how it looks. Okay, so that's going to be the back, obviously. But now look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Okay, now I'm going to put a sentiment on the front. Okay, for the sentiment, I'm going to use the Peace on Earth bundle, this Peace on Earth, and then I think I'm going to use the coordinating Peace on Earth dies. Okay, now the question is, how do we get this onto here? Okay, so what we need to do is cut a piece, and I'm going to use the Secret C, and I think I can use this strip because we want it to be 1 inch by 3 inches. And I think this might be 1 inch, so let's cut it 3 inches. And then hope it's 1 inch. Yeah, it's 1 inch. Okay. It doesn't have to be exactly 1 inch, but. Okay, now I'm going to score this. At a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. So there's a 1 inch spot in between here. And let's see. It's going to be sort of like this. Okay, so you want to figure out where is the front of your card is. If you put a white thing on the back, on one or both of these, you want to make sure that's towards the back. So I'm going to use this, and then this fold here is going to go up against here, this edge, and then this crease is going to go up against this edge. So it's going to look kind of like that. Okay, so then I'm going to put this on here like that. Now remember, this is 5 by 7, so you're going to put it into an envelope like this, okay? And then it will pop up. So let's put some adhesive here. This one I am using the score tape instead of regular adhesive because I feel like this is going to get kind of banged around or a little bit more than, you know, these pieces. So, okay, and then just add this, center it onto your card. So there we have it, Peace on Earth. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the project. You can purchase any of the products I used in the video at my website, thecraftychemist.stampinup.net. I have a Facebook business page, Crafty Chemist Designs, where I go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I also have a Facebook VIP group called The Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up, where you can share your artwork and ask questions and have a good time. You can also find me at Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Crafty Chemist Designs. My blog is periodicallycrafty.blogspot.com.